All right, y'all know we got to talk about it. So the Big 12 had their preseason all-conference team announced sometime last week, and we discussed it on the live stream. Well, I've been reading the Bible over the last few days, as in the Steele college football, in preparation for this coming season so that I can be, as prepared and as knowledgeable as possible when I talk to you all. And in there, he has his own first team offense and defense for the Big 12. And I was really shocked when I saw who he had listed on there. We're going to talk about that. But before we do that, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, where we take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. Thank you for pulling up to the YouTube channel. If you like this video, as you go through it, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love to have you a part of this college football family. And so we're going to dive right into Phil Steele's first team offense in the Big 12. I was a little surprised when I saw who's leading the way, and you all might be too. So I dove into it, and I'm like, okay, based upon the media's choices, we only had one player for Oklahoma that made the actual first team on offense or defense, and it was Ethan Downs. And makes sense, Colin Kennedy joined us yesterday, and he discussed kind of what it looked like as to why certain players get chosen or who's being considered. On this one, Phil Steele made a little different, as we got 3 players in here from Oklahoma on the first team offense and defense combined. His top quarterback in the Big 12 is Dillion Gabriel. One of his top receivers is Jalil Farouk. So they're both on the first team on the offensive side, and defensively, he has Danny Stutzman. So let's back this up. First off, all you know that I am a big Dillion Gabriel apologist for one reason and one reason only. It's because he was the only one that knew the playbook when he came to Oklahoma. And so granted, I can totally see him really being the only one on the right page all the time or most of the time. And so granted, yeah, there were moments where I put a little blame on Dillion Gabriel. I put some blame or a lot of blame on him based upon his play. But I did recognize that there was levels to why performance happened. And so I didn't throw everything on the lap of Dillion Gabriel. We have to recognize that sometimes, it is what it is. And so because of that, I have been an apologist just to remind everybody, he's just not, the Caleb's, the Kyler Murray's, the Baker Mayfield types, the Jalen Hurts. But he's a capable quarterback if you have all the components that are right. And so Phil still seems to see the exact same thing, as he has his quarterback is Dillion Gabriel. And statistically, Dillion was up there in the Big 12 last year in numbers. He's one of the top quarterbacks out there. As much as we want to argue he wasn't, he was one of the top quarterbacks in the Big 12. Just go look at the numbers. Grade-wise, we posted this up of him from PFF, and he was the top returner in the Big 12 by actual grade. So overall, his play, he's up there. Y'all may not agree with it, and that's fine. But that makes me feel good that he does do a lot of the right things, and we'll get better as the season goes on. And then you have Jalil Farouk. So they're seeing that the combo of Jalil Farouk and Dillion Gabriel should stand out and do really big things for Oklahoma this coming season. And so, of course, I'm sucking on a little hopium, because that tells me that with Phil's eye, and Phil does a fantastic job with this book every single year. Every single year, this preview book is great. And it makes me realize that, we've got a really good chance. So if our defense shows out, we can do it. And then adding Danny Stutzman, who led the Big 12 in tackles, over 100 tackles last season. He led the team in snaps at like 919. He was on the field all the time. But he's a leader and an anchor on the team. And so his job was to make sure to clean up things. And so with that being the case, hopefully this year he's not cleaning up much, because the defense will be running like a well-oiled machine, because most of the players have been in there at least for a year in the system. Now they will probably react and play a lot better. So my point behind all of this is I'm fascinated by the fact that we had Dillion Gabriel and Jalil Farouk as your quarterback wide receiver tandem as a first team offense in the Big 12. As you can see it here in comparison to the media's, kind of a fascinating setup. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know. What's your thoughts? What are you thinking about Jalil Farouk and Dillion Gabriel leading the way on Phil Steele's offense? I kind of shocked me. Also, the one thing that really jumped out to me too is still that we don't have a Tyler Guyton showing. I still believe that he's the best tackle in the Big 12, but of course I'm biased. Watching him go against Jared Verse told me enough that I need to know. And so hopefully he can show out this year, make himself possibly a first round pick, and everybody will be sold on him just like I am. But besides that, hop in the comments. Let your boy know what's your thoughts on that. What you think about Phil Steele? Do you think I'm sucking on a little too much hopium? You think I'm too biased on this? Because I think for the most part, I know Xavier Worthy definitely had to be on there, and definitely Jatavian Sanders from Texas. Those two Texas guys would definitely be there. Stribling from Oklahoma State. Yeah, and I definitely see Devin Neal being on here. And Aiden Robbins, I don't know much about him. I haven't really watched much BYU, and I have to go back and do that. So overall, seems consistent defensively, but I do want to hear from you all. You all tell me, who do you think should be on this list? Who's missing? And all of that. If you made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button as well as subscribe. We would love to have you join this great college football community, and we're only going to grow because of you, the people. Goals 10,000 by the end of the summer. We're almost there. So we'll be pushing for a lot more.